Since the first man looked at the stars, we have dreamed of escaping death. Religions promised eternal paradise. Kings searched for fountains of youth. Alchemists mixed elixirs of immortality. We begged the universe for forever, but never stopped to ask, what if forever is not a gift, but a curse? Because eternity is not freedom. It is prison, without doors, without end. Nietzsche warned, if you gaze long enough into the abyss will gaze back into you. And eternity is the deepest abyss of all. We fear death because it ends everything we know. The laughter of friends, the warmth of a lover's touch, the taste of bread, the sound of rain on a roof. Death silences it all. Dostoevsky wrote, man is afraid of death because he loves life. And man is afraid of life because he sees death within it. Yes, death terrifies us because it feels like loss. But loss requires something precious to begin with. And here is the cruel paradox. Death is also mercy. The body breaks, the heart grows tired, the soul longs for rest. In the silence of death, there is release, an ending, a boundary, a place where suffering finally bows its head. Now imagine life stripped of that mercy, a flame that never goes out, but never warms, a wheel that turns and never stops. That is eternity. What makes a flower beautiful? It wilts. What makes a kiss precious? It ends. What makes a moment sacred? It never returns. Fragility gives life meaning, but eternity destroys fragility. It stretches every joy until it becomes unbearable. Nietzsche imagined the eternal recurrence. What if you were forced to live the same life again and again for all of time? Every joy, every mistake, every heartbreak, every humiliation, to celebrate the cycle or collapse under its weight. Immortality is not heaven. It is repetition until repetition becomes torment. What is a song if it never ends? What is love if you must watch it die 1,000 times while you remain? Eternity is not only repetition, it is weight, the crushing awareness that tomorrow will always come and never end. Kierkegaard called it the dizziness of freedom, the terror of infinite possibility. Freedom without death is not liberation, but suffocation. Think of a prisoner in a cell. He dreams of release, even if release is death. But an immortal prisoner has no hope. Every second becomes heavier because no second can ever be the last. Carl Jung wrote, man needs difficulties. They are necessary for health. But what difficulty remains when time itself cannot break you? What meaning survives when there is no final breath to shape it? This is the weight of immortality. Not living forever, but waiting forever. To live forever is to watch everyone you love fall into graves you will never enter. To hold their hands as they grow cold, while yours never change. To walk through centuries and become a stranger in every world. Love dies. Language changes. Civilizations rise and collapse. But you remain, an echo without end. At first, immortality looks like power. But in truth, it is exile. The immortal does not live in paradise. He wanders through ruins, forever searching for a face that will never return. Rumi once wrote, try to accept the changing seasons of your soul, even if winter cuts you deep. For spring will arrive. But for the immortal, there is no spring. Only the endless winter of watching others pass into peace, while you remain in the storm. We think more time gives more meaning. But too much time devours meaning itself. What is art if you have endless centuries to paint? What is courage if you cannot lose your life? What is love if you will never risk goodbye? Meaning comes not from endlessness, but from limits. A flower pressed into eternity is no longer alive. A story without an ending is no story at all. Immortality is not fullness. It is emptiness stretched forever. An ocean with no shore. A song with no silence. A life with no death is not life at all. And so, after centuries of imagining eternity, we return to the gift of mortality. For death, cruel as it seems, is what gives life its fire. Death makes love urgent, because every kiss might be the last. Death makes courage real, because every risk could end everything. Death makes beauty sacred, because nothing lasts forever. Nietzsche once said, "One must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star." But chaos without an ending is only despair. Mortality is not a curse. It is the mercy that gives shape to existence. It is the silence that makes music possible. It is the shadow that makes light visible. And perhaps death itself is not the enemy. Perhaps eternity is. And death is the only thing that saves us from it. Hear these words carefully. You might never encounter us again. Join Silent Fuel and learn how to rise with power.